Alrighty, we're back again for another video, another unboxing video. It hasn't been too long, in terms of filming wise, it hasn't been too long since we did our last one. As we all know, it's just the CL, so back again. Time for back to Victorian. We're doing something Steam this time. We all know what it should be. I don't know if this video is being uploaded as soon as possible. It depends on all the minor other issues that you may be having, but let's get on to it. Welcome back to another K153 model unboxing video. Today, as we all know, we're doing the SDS K class on what the title shows. I've also played around with the microphone. Hopefully it isn't clipping as much as it was, because I know it was clipping quite a bit in the previous video. So we've got the padded bag again. Yeah, this is going to get interesting. You know what my thoughts are when it comes to these padded bags, especially with something this expensive. But this time as well, a bit interesting because you've ended up with all this stuff here. This is so it's basically ripped through the bag. The box has gone along. The corner of the box, as we can tell, has ripped through the bag through here. So which is great. Which is just go figure, wouldn't it? Yeah. We'll see how that is. Hopefully there's no damage. If there is, then well, we're gonna have some fun, aren't we? So I guess we'll get into it. Once again, the pull tab's on the rear, so oh fun. We got some paper. Let's have a look at what this quick stuff are. It's weird because this is an SDS model and it's coming a bookload of other stuff. So we've got the hotbox stuff again, second package to come with it, and a whole lot of pre-orders, and actually they're not pre-orders, they're ready for sale, I'm pretty sure. Some advertisements. This is just, that's a pre-order. Yeah, that's a pre-order. That's available. That's a pre-order. That's a pre-order. Yeah, they've just grabbed every single possible one and just dumped it all into one thing. Right. Once again, these bags, as I say, are still not suitable for this. But what can we do? We'll see if it's done any damage this time, seeing that it was actually taped to the box. I don't know if that happened in store or happened by Post. There you go. Doesn't look any damage on the box, so we'll see how this goes. Is there anything else in here? I don't know what the value pack on it is actually, because I think there is a limited. Wow, the mess is created. There is a amount of value that they can take up, and I'm not 100% sure what they are for liability's sake, but we'll find out. Anyways, as you can see, it's the brand new SDS models K class. I bought it from Australian Model because I didn't pre-order one. I didn't really know what I wanted, and then the pre-order shut, and also because paper pre-orders, I don't really trust it. So I'm going to pre-order from a local shop, but by then it was already a bit too late, so I didn't know what shops had stock and what shops didn't. I prefer doing online orders rather than doing in store these days. So if your shop has online orders, honestly, that's a good way to get a lot of businesses these days. Anyways, it's pretty much the same like the D3 box, except it says SDS models, which is nice. We've got the tagging on the side. It's the Victorian K class in black. This is the steam rail variation, which is the 1980's model. So this is just a DC model. I don't do DCC as everyone knows. So let's get into it. Apparently Eureka also had some of these. And they just had a Eureka sticker fitted to it, because SDS was actually doing the work for Eureka in this case as well. I should know that I'm in the process of editing a few other videos at the moment as well, so not for this channel obviously. Right. Get a instructions pamphlet. It's an A4 pamphlet, which is nice. K153 on the front, all black and white. It uses the same sort of socketing design as the D3s, which is nice. It's just a 6-pin plug, it looks like this time. Bit of history on it. DCC functions, so it's giving us the functions even though I'm a DC. This is a DC model. You can also, the front is designed to have a KD fitted. Nice. You can actually fit a KD to the front. Cool, and it has a linking pin as well. That's really nice. Parts breakdown. Keep alive, which I think is most likely switched off, knowing my model. For some reason they by default switched off on my end. I'll see if this is the case. And tender parts is good. Maintenance, parts, warranty, standard sort of stuff. And installing DCC, which is actually useful for this one because this is a DC model, but I'm not going to be using it most likely. Let's get out. There we go. Excited? Anyways, that's it's the same as the sugar. It's the same as the other one. This is your here we go. This is the coupler. It's an actual knuckle coupler. Here that comes in. It's an actual KD which has been modified to do this because you can see it's been cut. That's cool. They've actually given you a real coupler this time, unlike the D3s which didn't get one. I'm pretty sure. So let's pull these out. Separate boxes like the D3. It's a very, we all know what that box was like. Not a bad box though. So let's see if there's any damage to the model. Hopefully not. We should be golden. So bringing it out of the good noise. Bringing it out of the plastic thing. They've also got markings on the box if you were to put the model back into the box, which is nice. It is useful to have those markings. Would you look at that? Got a little bit of hole marks on it, but nothing nearly to the scale of the other model, but very nice. And as they come non-attached, we can have a look at we can probably have a look at some of the details of the thing as well before we attach it. Yeah, there is a bit of hole marks on the plastic as well. So I do apologize. It looks like this opening part's taking quite a while, but there's a lot of stuff to unpack if you haven't realised. It's nothing like our Japanese stuff, which is nice and easy. So let's pull the tender out. Also tender coupler that gives you markings. This has the shortened base tender, so it's only fitted with the coal on this end rather than the extended bunker, which is correct. It's also got the shunter steps, which is actually correct for the 80s, incorrect for the 90s, which is my era. So yeah, but at least this time nothing is broken on it. I don't like my D3, so that's good. So I'm going to take a closer look at these probably before we have a look at it, because I just want to make sure everything's good to go, because we're not going to deal with the D3 again. But let's go and take a close look. Alright, we're all set up on the desk. Let's take our first impressions, doing our standard forms, first impressions, brief history, and then our close-up. I don't think there's any features, there was no features list, so I'm pretty sure there wasn't anyways. But so no features look, but we'll just take a quick look around the model in this sort of view and have a look and see what we think. It looks good. I feel like I say this with every single bloody model these days, but it definitely does look good. I've already seen photos of these units. Obviously, it's not a they've been around for a little bit already. It's what's it called? Most of them arrived like last weekend, so the very, very fine details on it. Apparently, the sound model is really, really nice as well. I've had to chock the tender. The tender rolls very well. Very, very well. So I've had to chock it. You can see the bit of blue tack currently holding the wheel down. For the close look, we will look at each unit separately, and then we'll go through coupling it up. This model is also fitted out with a fake headlight. I'm pretty sure it's fake. It doesn't look like it's got any form of lighting on it, because obviously in Heritage they got fitted with a tender light that allows it to go long end. Tender first. Not that they really did it. Very, very nice cab interior. That actually looks really, really nice. Haven't seen cab interior that good for quite a while, probably because I again do the smaller stuff, and the smaller stuff just doesn't have that sort of detail. This model's fitted with the staff exchanger. Actually, all the Ks do technically fitted with the staff exchanger, unlike the D3s, which I had it removed. Very fine details. Everything's nice and clear. Everything is nice and clean. This is also the one with the steam rail decal. The front coupler As you can see, that is the fake coupler fitted. I'm not 100% sure how you remove it and refit the other one, but apparently you can do that now, which is pretty cool. And of course, everything looks like it's there, nothing looks bent or broken, which is nice. So we'll be good to give this a test run. So we'll go through its brief history and we'll go into a close look. As I say, we'll do each unit separately, so this close look may be a little bit longer than usual, and I do apologise about that. The K-Cast locomotive is a light goods locomotive built for the Victorian Railways. 53 locomotives were constructed over 2 batches. The first batch was constructed in 1922 with 10 locomotives by the Victorian Railways Newport workshops. They proved their worth in the early years, being mostly unrestricted on most of the lines they were allowed to operate on. During the 1930s, the locomotives were upgraded to improve their steaming. Just before the war, another 29 locomotives were purchased, featuring upgrades that had been performed on the earlier members of the class. These began from the number K150 and entered service from 1940. The war halted the production of the last few, with those being completed in 1946. The K stayed in operation until the 1960s, when the arrival of the T and Y class diesels took over their branch and shunting duties. The final K class locomotive with the Victorian Railways was K162, which finished operation in 1979. 21 K-class locomotives made it to preservation and are in various conditions of operational, static, stored, or under restoration. K153 was part of the second order and entered service in 1940. She was withdrawn from service in the 1970s and relegated to special services. Eventually, 153 was put under the custodianship of Steamroller Victoria, who continues to operate the locomotive to this day. Okie dokie, it's time to begin our close look, shall we? So, it's, what's it called? We'll start off with the main unit, the main locomotive, because that's always the best place to start from, and we'll go from there. Beginning with the front of the locomotive, we can see the very clear details. There are a lot of separately fitted parts. You've got your headlight, which actually you can see the circuit board behind it. It's probably an easy fix from what I hear, but yeah. You got the steam rail badging on this one. This is the only model to come with the steam rail headboard, at least in terms of what was first released. And it comes with the normal style pilot car catcher. I'm not sure what the right term for that is. So this is just a regular style. 153 doesn't use this anymore. It uses the older style one because it was converted into K100 at some point. This model should have working headlights as long as working ditch, the side lights that you can see at the top of the screen. I forget what they're called, markers. So they should be working. This does swivel, so that's really nice. You can swivel it. The model is fitted with sprung loaded buffers. It's also got the cutouts, and because of that, you probably they would usually be facing like that because it's to stop them from buffer locking and corridor locking. So you would have the buffers facing in that direction, so they just spin. So it's an easy fix to fix up when they do spin out of practice. But now we're heading on towards the side of the model. We've got our smoke deflectors. There's a bit of rust on the model, which is interesting. You can see that the handrail is rusted already. Bit unfortunate, but what can you do? It's not too hard of a job to fix. I assume you can just repaint, put a layer of lacquer or paint on it, or even sand out the paint and then repaint it. It'll fix that up. But there is a little bit of rust on those handrails, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about that. Funnel looks nice. The proportions look correct, anyways. It is a little shiny compared to the rest of the model, but I assume I'm not 100% sure what the funnel's made out of, whether or not it's plastic or continue with die casts. Probably plastic actually, because the rest of the model is the boiler is die cast on this model, which is why you can see how nice and clean the paint has been applied to it as well. So it looks really, really good. You've got your reverser on this side as well. And we're onto the cab of the unit. It's a very, very nice number plate. There is no builder's plate on this engine. I don't think 153 had its new... I'm not sure when 153 lost its builder's plate, but it doesn't look like it's got this builder's plate fitted on this model. We'll see if it's on the side. We're just going to do another push through with all the linkage. So we can have a look at a really nice linkage here. Is the wall shafts motion again. Not 100% sure how correct it is, because I don't seem to take much notice on the correctiveness of it, but it does look nice at least. Alright, so taking a nice look at the cab, we can see there's a whole lot of not really dials, but got a whole lot of your steam vents and your regulator and your reverser has all been painted up, which is really nice. I think they're also separate, they're not actually on the wall, they're not actually molded, which is really nice. At least some of those parts are, so that's really nice. You got your handbrake as well on the close side. There's no door, however, because I'm pretty sure they're fitted with a door from the cab that allows the crew to get out. I assume on the outside this probably got the door, but the inside hasn't got the door molded in. But you can see your 6-pin connector. There's not a bad connector. Haven't had any problems with it anyway. So coming onto a sort of side-on profile, you can see that the how the parts in the cab is also not on the wall, which is nice because that means they're all separate parts. But we're going to come along onto the side of the boiler. We've got a ladder on this side, which is standard for the Ks, not so much of a standard with some of the other engines. But you can see all the extra parts that have been fitted on the top. It looks really nice here. I think one of those should be your steam generator, your safety valves, of course. You've got your dome. This dome is fitted with a cap on top. And then, of course, you got your compressor on this side as well. Looking really good. And of course all your handrails and separate fitted parts. You can see that there's a red wire going through the model. Pretty unfortunate that it has to be a red wire that's sticking out. I assume that's for the pickups to go from the body to from the wheel through the hole into the boiler. It would have been nice if it was like a black wire, but again, wouldn't be too hard to fix yourself, I would think. But it is unfortunate that out of the box you've got this little dangling red wire in a pretty much fully black locomotive. On the red locomotive wasn't as much of a problem. Don't even know it was there, but because this is a black engine, it's very noticeable. And we can have a look at the linkage on this side, which is currently set in the rods down position, so you can actually see most of the linkage, eccentrics and so forth. Looks really good. Nothing to complain about with that. See how they last. I've had problems with some of the models with them rusting. Let's hope this one doesn't happen with this. Of course, we're now onto the pistons, and then we got the front pony truck, because you have to remember these are freight locomotives. They're fitted out with a 280 wheel arrangement. I hope they can get around my corners as well. And we're back onto the front of the unit, looking nice and sharp. So let's go onto the tender. Let's not take too long. It's tender time. So nothing too much we should be able to cover on the tender at least. It's still a tender, so it's still part of the model. So let's have a quick look around a bit. This area isn't really modelled, honestly. It looks like the door is shut for some reason, which would be interesting when in operation, but not many people really see it anyways. But yeah, you can stick some coal onto the end of that and make it look like the coal is flowing out if you really want to. You can see it's got the original style, shorter coal bunker. This is how the Ks were fitted out. The second series Ks were fitted out when they went out the factory. This model was fitted with the shunter steps, as I said. These were fitted to all the locomotives at some point in their lives. However, I don't think they were original, and I can't recall if they're original. Sorry, but they definitely aren't used in preservation. So whether or not I may remove mine in the future, but for now they will stay there, because this is correct for the 1980s model. Of course, model 1990s. It was actually removed by 1988 during Auc steam. Very nice looking bogies. Very nice. I forgot to also say that the unit uses spoked bogies, not the box pock, which is available on your latter numbers. On the rear of the tender, this is fitted with a normal KD coupler. This is a scale size one, which is nice. Got a bit of buffer beam detail. You got only one air hose pipe, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but you've only got one air hose pipe. But you should have your sprung loaded buffers. As I say, the other buffer is spun to the wrong way, and we'll get that spun back to normal before we get to it as a layout. Handrails down the side, looking really good. Looking a little bit rusted as well for some reason. I don't know what's up with the rusting on the handrails. Especially seeing it's brand new. Like I understand if it's after it's been out of the box for a while, but these are brand new models. You got the fake headlight, as I say, fitted. It doesn't look too bad. Would be nice if we could get a headlight fitted in the future, but and you've also got the marker lights and I think tail lights. I think they should be working. I've seen photos, videos of them running, and it looks like they work. I don't know if it works on this particular model though, so we'll see what happens. So, and we've got the nice, so this is the welded tender as well. Some units got the welded tender, some of them got the riveted tender. 153 was fitted with a welded tender, at least during this era. So, coming back onto the front, back to the standard, looks really good. We'll take a quick look on the side of the unit. I really should have not done it when it's facing this way, but yeah. We can see the keep alive, and the keep alive is set in the off position as usual. So I think this is also where the decoder and the sound decoder gets fitted, so most of the electrics is in here. So let's put the unit together and head over to the layout and give them a test. It uses the same sort of thing as the D3, so it's the 6-pin plug. Unfortunately, I've also got the camera on manual. It's the 6-pin plug, and as you can see, there's the chock that I'm using to hold the model down, lining up the pins. They should just push together, nice and simply. I assume they would have told us about the fact that they come out pretty nice as well. This plate has to go over, on top of the bar, I assume. It's pretty interesting. I don't know why the plate would go there. I assume they expect you to do it upside down then. And while we have it upside down, you can also see there's a bit of a stain right there. There we go. That's locked in nicely. So I can also remove the chock on the wheel. There we go. That's connecting up your K-Class. Alright, well here we are. Welcome back to the layout. Time to give this K-Class a test. As we've got it right here to the side. It's always easier now that we just leave it here before we start it. We will do the same thing like last time, roll back over the 18-inch corner. I need to make sure that it gets around it before we start doing the test run, or else I have to sort that problem out before we do anything else. So let's get it on. It's a bit harder to do compared to the diesels, of course. There are a lot more wheels. Right. Everything should be on. I actually can't see the screen, so I have no idea what the camera can see, but let's rock it back and forth. Or reverse. I think that should be reverse. Something is not on. Those shunting steps actually make it quite hard to put the tender bogies on easily. It has got the rear tender lights working in the reverse direction. There's no tail lights on the model, just forward facing lights. And we've got all the working headlights on the front, so it made it around the 18-inch. It is classified as 22-inch only, I should note, which is 22 because it's 18, 21, 22, so that should be approximately third radius, which is that track there, I think, because this is fourth. So there we go. So which is actually this should be third radius. So let's get it moving. We'll do it 30 minutes in both directions, and we'll see how it performs after. We'll do a few running shots, and of course we'll run it behind a load after. Alright, well there we are. That's the running in completed. It's running better in the forward than it is in the reverse. So anyways, we're going to chuck on a few carriages so that you can haul it. I'm going to give it a go at putting all of the steam rail E-cars on. So we've got 4 E-cars plus the van. So that's 5. So we're going to give it a go, see how that rolls, whether or not it can handle it. And then we'll remove a unit as per whenever it can't handle it. So let's fingers crossed it can. You have to remember these grades are pretty harsh on it. So we'll pop it on the platform and then we'll just back it on. So. Well, we almost made it. Anyways, so we've got the train connected up. We may actually have to remove one of the carriages now. But he managed to get it almost here until it starts slipping and now it's stuck. So it does have a bit of a haulage capacity issue. Again, might be because of how steep my grades are, because did we just push it a little? It's not like anything's derailed, so we have to remember that, yes, these corners are rather tight, a lot of friction on the carriages, and my grades are pretty harsh as well on the layout, so I'm not blaming the model really, but it's also, yeah, they will struggle a little bit with heavier loads, so I guess because of that we'll remove the second carriage, the first carriage, and we'll just run 3 carriages plus the van. Right, that's 1 carriage off. But yeah, so it doesn't look too bad in front of basically what it would have ran with in its day. These carriages should be the correct era as well, with the yellow lining and the red CE, so just not as long as they would usually run it. So let's let the engine take it away. We'll get Alright, well there we are. I think that's probably enough running. You would have noticed that we had to slow down the unit a little bit midway through the video, purely since the heat has caused a few slight issues with the layout, and the tracks are not 100% kind of on the table anymore. So it's been causing a few minor delays with the 6-axle carriages. Sorry, 3-axle carriages. Anyways, what do we think? We're going to move. It's definitely not too bad, I would say. It's a very nice model. Currently got it lined up with the D3, of course. Well, did until I did this to the camera. So yeah, definitely doesn't look too bad, does it? Looks really nice, actually. It is. You have to remember this is the 80s variation, so some of the features on this model now isn't present on the current version, nor is it, nor some things that are present on the current version, not present on the model. But overall, it looks really nice. The K's are a very nice run of models. For what we've seen from all the other models, they've definitely been really nice. A nice batch of models to add to your collection. Covers most eras. Here there's from the original variation of flared tenders, tops, and being numbered between 0 and 10, 110, locomotive 100 and 110. So there's those two, there's the range of the original Ks, and there's even a lot of the current K classes that we're used to this day. So nice variety of models available through SDS. Runs very nicely. We can hear it. Very quiet. Very nice mechanism. A little bit stronger than the D3. It's able to handle the 4 carriages compared to the D3 only handling 2 of them, 2 to 3 of them. These carriages are rather heavy though. There are extra weights on these carriages compared to what some of the other carriages are. You can probably get away with carrying a few more PLs or something like that. So not bad model at all. It's a very nice model, especially for the price that it is. Knowing that everything's slowly going up in price now, being able to get this for the price that basically was advertised 5 or 6 years ago is not too bad at all. We'll see what happens with the models, because obviously stock levels are a bit of an interesting problem we're going to have with them. They are, especially with the preservation ones, they're all rather low or non-existent. So if you like one, they're going to be a little hard to come by. We'll see what happens in the future. Other than that, not bad of a model. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed joining us for this little coverage on it's kind of a long video, but this having a look at SDS's new K-class models, which are formed from their old Eureka models. Somewhat, it's been basically fully retooled. Anyways, till next time, we'll catch you all in our next unboxing. Not sure what it will be. It'll be a little while to our next video though. There's no plans on acquiring any new models for a while. At least for HO. Until then, hope you all enjoy the other videos and hope you all enjoy your models. Catch you all next time.